Hey everyone, so we're back. I did a little Instagram shout out a minute ago just to say why we weren't here on Friday, which we're going to tell you a little bit more about later. But we've got a very close friend of ours who is our guest tonight, and yeah, she's an incredible hairdresser. I'm going to let Ian. Oh, before that though, make sure you're sharing this. So click the share button if you're Facebook. Share it on YouTube.
Not a watch party. Not a watch party.
Yeah, not a watch party. Just share it. Like if you can grab the link and post it, that's great. Click the subscribe button. Head over after this to the Mindful Hairdresser. That's Ian's new channel. So make sure you clicked that as well. All comments and questions pop down below because then we can bring up on screen to ask Sevda. I've just revealed who it is before Ian does, but Ian will tell you a bit more. But the questions that you want to get in are probably going to be about post-lockdown in the salon. So I'll let Ian introduce.
Okay, so this is a really good one for me because I remember Sevda starting with the team. That was about, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. She was very shy, very, very quiet. And over the last few years, she has blossomed. She's become an incredible artist. She has been the creator of Balayage and Beyond, which sells out within minutes of going open to buy tickets to go to Helmand to see. She's sold out wherever she goes. She is the Belgian Hairdresser of the Year. She's Colorist of the Year. There's nothing she hasn't won, and just a really all-round lovely woman to speak to, one of my favorite Joico artists. So let's all welcome Sevda.
Hi. Oh my God, so many compliments.
Was that a nice big intro for you?
Thank you guys.
So Paul, go. You go.
I was going to say, just introduce yourself, Sevda. Tell everybody all about you.
All about me. I am a Turkish girl. I have Turkish roots, but I'm made in Belgium. I live in Belgium. I'm married, 3 kids. I'm 20 years, no, 41. And I'm a salon owner in Belgium for 11 years. And I'm in the team, in the European team for 4 years.
I thought it was 4 years, yeah.
4 years, yeah.
So it's
and
really
I met Ian at first, and he was, awesome, handsome man.
You're coming back on already.
Yes. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to be in the team because I'm the first Belgian guest, I think. I don't think before they had somebody from Holland or Belgium. No.
Yeah, they've got in Belgium, the distributor has his own team, but you're the first European member.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all English and Irish now.
Yeah, and I remember actually when you came on board, you were so shy.
I know.
And
you were always a gentleman.
Oh well, I do my best, but but I think that you were always so shy, and you were always willing to learn and always willing to take things on board, very serious. And then over the last 18 months, 2 years, you've just gone boom. And it's you've just blossomed and become this whole, artist that they knew you could be. And you've done incredibly well. So tell us about that starting point and then where you've just blossomed into this incredible platform artist and educator.
I didn't have a dream to become an educator because I just love my work and I love to make beautiful creations, like beautiful pictures. It all started there. And then I did my first collection, and then somebody from the education manager, she contacted me from Joico. Do you want to be a part of the Joico team, and we can support you in your journey? And she said, you are amazing in coloring. And so, because I didn't know, I just want to be just only a colorist because I love to cut hair as well. And then, and then it's all started there. And then I come to the team. And I think the most important thing on this journey was to learn about knowledge and education. And I think that's the reason that maybe the blossom that you're talking about, that's the reason, because I learned to watch. I learned to have a vision on something, and you're growing every day. But in the team, I saw Ian, I saw David, then we had different people on the team like Ryan and working together. It was also like, oh, that's beautiful. And you take from everybody some part of it, and you make just your own vision on it, and you're creating your own collections.
Yeah, because you've done it. You've made it look effortless. You've made it look like the swan on the water, you know. But I know underneath that your little legs are going so fast to create everything.
Yeah.
Is that how it feels?
It's like, you know, the last collection that I make, the Mystic Poetry, that's more. It was like, I don't want to be a part of a competition this year, like to have rules like the size of the head and you can't use everything what you want sometimes. And this time I had something like, I want to have freedom on my own collection. I'm paying for that, and I want to have my own freedom on this collection, because I keep it always very feminine. I love to be very soft, feminine, editorial, and I want to give that signature on this collection. And like the ginger heads, I love copper hair. I love ginger hair, like mine.
Yeah.
And it was like going to the grandmother's time in the past, and I had something like, you know, it's like the last years we have a lot of prints and graffitis on the hair, very vivid colors. It's like, keep it soft and elegant, and I just want to make some old hair on young people. And that was the reason that I did the ginger heads. It's like, it's very old, very poetic, but it's on old hair on young girls. And I think it's going very hard. Yeah, it's going very hard with it's going very strong. Yeah, that picture, it's like everywhere on the cover, and everyone talks about it. Yeah.
So how did the difference between that collection and the collection that you normally would do, how do you feel the difference is? I know that the look is different, but actually the preparation for it and stuff, how has that been different?
How has that been different? Because you have your own, like I said before, you have your own freedom. Like the ginger heads, you know, the girls, they are real models, and you know, always real models can't color their hair, or they can't cut their hair off, and you do a big investment always in wigs, in very good wigs, and it's very expensive, but it's worth of it. And the girl with the long hair, that's her own hair. No, it's the fringe is not her own hair, but the preparation was like, oh my God, I want to do this, and I'm gonna do that color, I'm gonna do that cut, because normally you're always talking about trends and you're following the trends and what is it now in the whole international going on the hairdressers world. And now it was like, no, I'm just going doing what I like, what I wanted to let's see. I didn't look to anyone else. It was like, it was my vision. It's like, if you have here a pen, just a pen, I'm gonna let you show here. If you see this from my girl. But normally we always look to something like, oh, okay, it's beautiful, it's very funny and strange. But if you're zooming in like this, you see different things. You see very different things, and I love to watch, because in the past I didn't watch, I didn't zoom in with my eyes. And now the last few years, it's like more, I'm zooming in more, and I'm going deeper in inspirations like the nature or the fashion, the beauty. Everything inspires me.
Yeah, I think that the collection is really beautiful, and it's got like a real, a different energy about it for you.
Yes.
It's very serene, it's very classic. I love it shot the white, because the contrast between white and the The red head is amazing,
Yeah.
but also the makeup is very pure and very soft and dewy, isn't it? It's really good. So that's why I think it's getting a lot of attention, and you've expressed yourself that way, which is really, really, you know, yeah.
If you look to the collection, it's Sevda.
Yeah.
You can see my own character in that collection.
Yeah.
Did the winning the award in Belgium last year, did that give you the confidence to actually then just go and express yourself? Would you have done it had you not won the award, do you think?
You know, in the past, when you're younger, I'm not old, but when you were younger, you're new in the industry, you want to maybe let's show your name and like, I want to do that. And you're thinking different. You're always thinking about, I want to win an award. But when you're getting older, it's changed. It changed a lot because you want to make beautiful work. You don't want to win awards, but you just only improve yourself by making beautiful work that's going strong international or European. But last year I had, my mother passed away last year, and it was the awards. She passed away 5 days before the show.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. Yeah. And when I did that, it was like, fuck all the thing, you know. It was like I didn't care anything about that, but I
didn't
won
matter
that.
then. Yeah,
I won that evening. I win the award, but it was like, I don't care, you know. Just make beautiful work and live your life. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, Sevda, you saying that is something that me and Ian talk about daily. We talk about going against the system and going against. Like, I haven't entered the British Hairdressing Awards. I'm not a member of the fellowship, all that sort of thing. And not that I don't like. Obviously, British. You see some incredible work, but it's like I don't want to be dictated to or by. I just want to do my own vibe. Like, I've got my own way I want to do things, and I don't want to have to be dictated or have a brief to succeed in life. If you like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I agree, because at the moment I think I love I love BHAs. I love seeing what's being produced.
Yeah,
but it has got to a point. I think it's very, very a fine balancing point where is it now a hairdressing competition or is it a photography competition?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, I was talking to Bruno about it recently, you know, and Bruno's a good friend of ours, and Bruno.
And on Friday.
Oh yeah, he's coming on. Bruno's coming on Friday, and he can tell us more about it. I'm not going to steal too much of his thunder, but Bruno, he shot his last collection for buttons. You know, he did it with a really raw photographer that he trusted. He had regular clients as models as well as paid girls, and he just kind of could. And I think that's why he's always quite fresh, because I think he likes to swim against the tide as well.
Yeah, and
in his own way.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. It's just I haven't really found that vibe with the BHAs yet.
Yeah.
And that's just where I'm at. But I know we're very limited for time with Sevda.
Yeah.
We've got another 15 minutes because she's got other things to do.
It's going so quick.
I know.
I told you it goes quick.
But what we want to pick your brains for as well is to know post-lockdown life. What's salon life like post-lockdown?
How long have you been back?
I think the May 18 we started back to work.
Yeah.
And it is the first day it was really weird. Everybody was quiet and you were a little bit afraid, but as a leader you can't be afraid because you are the person that needs to give the positive vibe in salon. So the first day they used the face shield and the masks, the disposable mask, and the second day nobody had the both, but the second day no face shield, only masks.
Yeah.
And I am now though for week 4, and it's like Corona is not here in Belgium. Everybody forget it. It's really different. Nobody is afraid anymore. Everybody is today. Every restaurants and bars opens, so everybody's getting normal here in Belgium. Yeah.
We can't. That's like that's. I can't even see that getting to us till Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
And it's
serious.
good. Yeah, the salon is very busy. But my salon is a big salon, and we are with 4 hairdressers, and we can take every time 6 clients.
Yeah,
With
and I
social
think
distancing, we're respecting the social distancing. We're wearing masks as the clients as well, and always keep infected the hands. And we're cleaning every day. Maybe the steam gun, I'm using that for after each client.
one of the things before I can see there's a question coming from Bruno, which we're going to ask you in a minute. But
Okay.
before we ask that question, I just want to say that one of the things that I've taken from you, you said about, I think maybe 10 days ago, we had a thing on a Zoom call, and you said to the rest of the team was, guys, relax.
Yes.
Because people are just buying everything.
Yeah.
My
Relax.
shelves are empty, right?
Yeah. I think the women, they were locked down in house for 2 months here in Belgium, and now they have freedom. They are shopping, they are doing their hair. Everybody wants to change, and they're buying a lot of products. I order every week the double more in salon, because they are buying. Really.
That's phenomenal. Yeah.
Before you sell maybe 1 or 2 products. Now they take 4 or 5 products together.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
really, really promising. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yes, and and everybody is so kind, and the no shows are done in salon.
Right.
Everybody's coming to the appointment.
Yeah, I bet.
Calling up.
So one thing as well I wanted to find out, because it's proven to be really like a topic in the UK, is having loads of perspex everywhere, like plastic in between stations and in between basins, and at the reception desk you've got like a shield. Have you got that?
I have it just on the reception.
Okay.
Because my chairs are, I'm just leaving 1 chair between, because the distancing with the chairs, it's 130 in my salon.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of space for that.
And what's it got to be in Belgium? Because they're talking about 2 meters here.
No, 150.
Okay.
Yeah, Europe is 1.5 meters, and UK is 2. So let's get the question in for. So this is from Bruno, a good pal.
Where do you look for inspiration when creating your photos? That's a great question from Bruno. Everywhere, Bruno, everywhere.
Do you feel pressure? Do you feel pressure now that Bruno's asked that question? Is there a pressure? Is there extra pressure?
No, it's not a pressure. You asked that before. Inspiration is everywhere, like every hairdresser is saying that. But the last collection, it was really, really Sevda. That's my character, the editorial, being very feminine, classy, a little bit mystic. And I love poetry. And I am maybe a little bit mystic person as well.
Spiritual. I'd agree.
Yeah.
So this the success of the collection, does that mean that the next time you do something like that, you're going to push it out a bit further, or are you still going to stay and explore that kind of that feeling a little bit more, or are you done with it now?
Oh, Ian, every year it's really hard when you thinking about collection. Like, I'm now looking for new things, but now with Corona, I'm just gonna be honest, I didn't do that because my mind was more on my business than on my creative side.
Yeah.
It's different, you know. When I did shoot my collection, I always think about my next collection.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And now in this time, I didn't do that.
Okay.
Because my mind doesn't work for collections now, but more in salon.
It's another question for you from Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
Your biggest fan?
He's my biggest fan. I love you, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Big Lewis. You know what I mean?
He's even bigger now in lockdown.
What next, Sevda Durukan? What next?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know. go with the flow, Lewis. I don't know.
Do you plan
Maybe
things?
what's on my path.
Do you plan things, or Sevda? Do you plan your have you planned your career? I mean, did you plan becoming part of it? Did you want to become an educator? Did you plan to be a platform artist? Did you plan to kind of, or is it just things that's evolved for you?
I didn't plan anything.
Really?
I don't plan. Really, I don't plan. You know me, Ian. I don't plan anything.
Yeah.
It's on my path. You know, I'm just taking it. Go with the flow.
There's the master
Beautiful.
himself.
I love to make beautiful work, and that's the reason. You know, it's taste of everybody. Someone likes your works, the other person doesn't like your work. It's like the same thing.
There's the master himself, David, saying hi.
Hi, David.
Hi, David.
Everybody loves David. Except for me, obviously, I hate him, but everybody loves David.
You were saying about your collection, and then when you're doing your collection, you'll be thinking about your next one.
Yes.
So are you thinking of a link, or are you thinking of exploring something different?
You go every year. You want to go more up, because what I shoot last year, I don't like it anymore. Sometimes I don't like the picture anymore, and I want to do something really different.
Cool.
But this year, for me, this collection is really timeless. Like the ginger heads, and then the girl with the yellow dress, the editorial shot, and then I use wool. Like, you know, like when you're doing avant-garde, I didn't do avant-garde before, but I started last year with the one picture of Vincent van Gogh with the Starry Night collection.
Yeah,
that was my first avant-garde shots, and I am so happy because it came into the competition of Behind the Chair in America.
Yeah,
and I did. Yes, it's so beautiful. I was nominated with that picture, and then I had something like I want to do more something like avant-garde in my collections, because I think it's beautiful together when you have one or two avant-gardists. It's a completely look of your collection. And then I was thinking about to do what, and I was thinking like fibers, to use something different in hair, because we are always working with wigs or hair extensions or wefts. And now it was like wool. I saw in England there is a woman on Instagram, and she's making scarves with wool. And I follow her, and she inspired me so much on Instagram. When she felt like she take the wool out, and I saw the colors. And she made that wet, and then she let it stay for 1 night or 2 nights, and she had a scarf. And I did the same thing, because I wrote her. I said, you inspired me a lot with your wool. Now I did the same thing, and I created that in hair.
Oh wow! Yeah. Do you know who that is? Have you got the name?
Felt College.
Felt College.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Felt College. A woman in England. Yeah, they have good people in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think David you worked with like wool and fabric in one of his collections for avant-garde, and it was like, well, he knitted. He told us about him knitting and learning to knit on these big knitting needles, and he used the same thing to create like different fabric. You know, like avant-garde is something I'm kind of like always mesmerized by when people get it good and get it right. You know, I can just say that the artistry in it is so important, you know. So I know we're running out a bit of a time for you. So your balayage and beyond collection, which it was not a collection, it's your education tool. It's always sold out. I said at the top of when we started that you know, you sell it out all the time. Why is this so special? Why did you think that you've been such success for you?
Yeah, Ian, that was the question in the beginning, because in my salon I have a lot of girls with longer hair, but you know, I love to cut short hair. It's so it's so different, you know. Everybody thinks Sevda is doing long hair, the palages, the waves, but I am not that person. But I love to have very timeless, the beautiful short haircuts. I love to cut hair, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. What made that balayage and beyond so different? It was like the color corrections in salon. I posted before and afters, and it's all started there. And then created that with techniques, with the color correction, it came stronger and stronger. And then I created my own balayage course. And the first lesson, the first course, the second course, and really the people was so happy, because I think balayage is really important in salon, because 80% of the day is in salon balayage. And you know, if you have a beautiful consultation before and they're taking their home care, you know, the amount of your earn the money of a balayage is like 5 haircuts.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, in salon, but I love to work with colors, and I love to cut hair as well. So what's the important thing in salon? I think everything is important.
Yeah. So you've kind of created your salon philosophy into a course, really, of looking at balayage, but then going outside of that as well to all the other color aspects. Yes.
Yeah.
And like, I think every single one you've done so far has been sold out, and you've done a lot, right?
Yeah, I traveled a lot for the balayage. It was like tickets for Tomorrowland. It was on education, and it was bam, it was gone again. And they always called me for another date. And then I traveled a lot for that. But I love it. It's really beautiful. I think the more the success about the balayage and beyond, I think it's the before and afters.
Yeah,
I think more like, if you follow, as you see me on Instagram, like they're coming in salon, it's before and after. So like, wow, how did you do that? How did you did that?
Like, I messaged you the other day and I said, "Oh, what did you use? 60 volt or something like that?" Didn't I? And I think what makes it so powerful for you and for us visually to see it is because your clients who you're doing have got such dark hair.
Not everybody, but maybe I'm posting that.
Yeah,
you know, I'm posting a lot of longer hair balayages, but that's not the whole day in salon.
Yeah,
it's just the color of the day or the color correction of the day.
Yeah,
but I think the most important thing when you like coloring the hair that suits their skin, that suits the skin without makeup. That's very, 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 very important.
So I've got a quick question for you, Sevda. Just because we are going to, hopefully when we reopen our salons, did you make a decision when you opened the salon ready, after you've been shut for however months, did you make the decision not to do color corrections and just do as much other color, like just to get people up and running so they were ready to go out and be normal again? Or did you take on big color correction jobs from day one?
Yes, I did take that from day one. Yeah, I booked a half hour more for each balayage customer because I need to reformulate everything and do another consultation. And it works really good because I love to do color corrections. I love to do the big work in salon, really.
So, and how much extra did you charge now then? Did you put your prices up a lot, or did you, or just keep them the same? What did you do?
I normally keep it same. Only on the haircuts we go a little bit up. It's not so much, but you're charging more because you do a color correction work. It's like you're using first the base breaker, or you're doing cleansing, or your balayage is more, you're alternating with your balayages. You put a lot more foils in, and you're working in between colors. It's more, you know, you're charging more.
Yeah. Who was talking about base breaker 2 weeks ago, Paul? It wasn't Larissa. It wasn't. Oh my God. Olivia. Yeah, Olivia Smalley was like talking a lot about base breaker. And I know a lot of people I know don't understand what base breaker is about. So do you want to give us a little overview of what base breaker does for you, Sevda, prior to color, etc.?
Yeah, base breakers just break the base, the natural base. When you're coming in with a natural level 6 and you want to have a beautiful 7 ash without any warmth, because you know people on a level 7, when they wash their hair after a few weeks, that always shining a little bit more warmer. When you do, because you're coloring, when you color with 20 volume from 6 to 7, you have then the warmth always, the pigments. But first, if you put first the base breaker, 10 minutes with 20 vol, and then you rinse it out, and then you dry the hair, and then you can work with 7 ash with 10 volume, and 10 volume will keep it down. And that's the reason that we use a lot, like men, when they have sometimes little gray hair, they want to blend that, we use a base breaker as well.
Yeah, it's really good because I think it's a really, I was saying, it's a really underused product throughout Europe, I think, base breaker.
I posted, I think, 2 weeks before, I posted a picture on Facebook to show people before base breaker, after base breaker, because sometimes you have like a girl, she has more level 4, and she is really blonde. She is really blonde, and now with the corona roots, she had a very big roots. And I put first the base breaker, and I told her to come back after 2 weeks because I didn't have really the time in my schedule to give her the beautiful balayage, because I needed to do the base breaker first.
I think
to make my life easier.
Like I can definitely speak on behalf of like in England why base breaker isn't that popular, and it's not because clients aren't asking for it. It's because a hairdresser doesn't want to give somebody hot roots or a warmer result, and it's very ill-educated here.
Yeah,
base breaker, not ill-educated, uneducated, shall I say?
Yeah.
It's not really touched on at all.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like I said, it's always put on the back of the shelf.
Yeah,
it stays there. So nobody. But I know that because it's quite an on-tone lift, so it doesn't change the tonal value. It's great that way. It gives you controlled tonal lift, which I think is really, really clever.
Yeah.
And
but
I
maybe
think
Ian, in the past day when we did go to school, for gray coverage, you can use that for gray coverage as well. Sometimes you have clients in salon, the gray hair is so thick, so coarse, sometimes you can't go in, even if you do a virgin application or you're putting a lot of color, amount of color, the best formulation, and you will sometimes see 4 or 5 gray hair. It's a little bit translucent, and customers, they say I see 2 gray hair, and sometimes I'm using the base breaker before and I'm soften it.
Yes, yeah.
And then I color the hair.
Yeah.
And that works. The base breaker is just to tone up first or to blend.
It kind of makes the hair more receptive, doesn't it? It allows the color to do its job easier, I suppose.
But I think Joico has everything in house, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I have everything in salon. I'm using everything in salon.
Yeah, and I think it's down to but the products, and I think some people who have the base breaker who don't know it, they're not familiar with it, so they don't know how to use it, but when they listen to somebody like you speaking, saying that, well, actually I use it to soften pre-gray coverage, or whether I want to make sure I get the lift from the roots without being orange or make them go yellow. I want it to be a clean, beautiful lift on tone.
Yeah.
So, it's understanding what the product does, I suppose. So it is but it is an underused product, and I know Olivia just loves it.
Yeah.
She talks about it all the time. So have we got any last minute questions? I know we're taking up a lot of your time, and we're right in the middle of your bedtime routine, aren't we?
It's okay. My little diva is not here in the house, so we can go on.
That's good. That's good. So that's good, because I think that it is one of the things that's really important to know about is why you would do things. And like you said, you use Joico, use everything. So you've got everything and you use everything. But what made you decide on Joico as a brand in the first place? Because I know you've worked with other brands as well.
Yeah. The brand that I worked before, it stopped in Belgium.
Yeah.
And then my distributor, he told me, Sevda, I have a beautiful product for you, a beautiful brand. And I think it's more something for you, because with longer hair and the colors that you're using, I think it's going to suit you better than before. And I start with that. But in the beginning, I didn't have the knowledge. And I'm saying that every time, it doesn't it doesn't make sense, but I'm telling to that everybody the knowledge about the products is really important.
Yeah.
I had the creativity. I was only, for me, the first thing, like, it was always being creative, making beautiful pictures. But I forgot one thing, being commercial and your product knowledge. I didn't know anything about product knowledge. Like, what's like, it's more a little bit science, but you need that for your salon, because now I'm working with Joico, I think, in salon for 7 years, and my salon grew like this, really, because Joico is really good. It is really the joy of healthy hair, but it works really good. Like the hair repair system, I can't do beautiful balayages if I didn't have the repair system, because I need to give back the condition of the hair before I'm starting with the balayage. And if you zoom in on the pictures, you can always see the before pictures and the after pictures. The after pictures, the hair is always thicker. You see that. And that's our hair repair system.
Yeah, the hair repair system, I think that, I always say about it, is the unsung hero of the brand. Everybody takes it for granted that it works, every time, all of the time. And we kind of just take it for granted that, oh, well, that's, because we get used to using it. But actually, I've seen it do incredible things. And I know that, I can't say too much, but I know that it's going to be relaunched soon. And I know that they're working on something, and that's going to come up. But it is my favorite part of the brand, hair repair system. It's just like, and I would put that against any treatment on the planet.
100%.
No matter what treatment some other brands come out with, or this is going to do this and do that, and say, okay, come up against this, and then tell me what's better. It's just nothing compares to it,
No, and we've had it forever, because it's like, and it's built into our color. Like, we don't need to have any additives, and this is the big thing, obviously, now, and for the past 6 years, the Plex.
Yeah,
Plex. Yeah, and like, we don't need it, because
don't get me wrong, the Plex is a great product.
Yeah,
and they do a great job if you've never used hair repair system.
Yeah,
but if you use the hair repair system and then compare it, there is no comparison. You can't compare it.
No.
The Plex is only deal. Yeah, it is pure magic. They only deal with a little bit of the repair, whereas the Joico hair repair system deals with everything.
Yeah, I always say to my clients, like, it's like giving them virgin hair back again.
Yes, yeah.
But
it is like the creatine and the colors, like the Vero K-Pack color. It's beautiful, And when you're mixing colors, like, Ian is not mixing colors, maybe, Ian. But
I have somebody who does that.
Vero K-Pack system, like the True Tones, it's unbelievable what you can create with that. What colors you can create with the Vero K-Pack system. And then the Lumishine. In the beginning, I had something, oh my God, I don't know what to do with that. But now I'm using that a lot in salon, because sometimes I don't want to think. I don't want to create colors. It's like easy. I'm choosing the easiest way. And that's for me. So the biggest goals, like my staff, they're loving Lumishine. But I am the more creative person in salon. I will always use the Vero K-Pack system.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit pepper here, salt here. It's like a little bit more olive oil. It's the same thing. I'm feeling more confidence, and I want to create sometimes beautiful color. And I know the hair, I'm looking for the pigments to neutralize. What I'm seeing is yellow, a little bit more violet here there, and blue, some ash green there and you're creating your own colors. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't think enough of the industry know about K-Pack color.
Yes. Vero K-Pack,
Yeah, I just don't think they do it.
Well, I think it's because, if I'm honest, is that a lot of colorists are using pre-blended colors.
Yeah.
Everything's pre-blended. So
now, where they've got the intensity colors that have been blowing up for the past 3 years, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
imagine how much more like the customization of natural colors they would be able to come up with K-Pack, rather than like in using a similar process to what they do to create the intensities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, you've got to know your color wheel. You've got to know what the remaining, the once you lift, what's the color content that's left. You've got to know how to deal with that. And so it's a technical thing, but it's for true artists.
Yeah.
We've also got the Lumishine, which is pre-blended, which would compete with anything on the market, and its condition is unrivaled. So those type of things I think you have to look at. But interestingly, is that I was just going to say is that we have Bruno coming on Friday, and you see some of his comments on here. But I've known Bruno for like, I don't know, 20 years, and he's one of these guys who wears his heart on his sleeve always. You know, if he says something, you know it's come from his heart. You know, and I know he was with another brand for such a long time and really loyal. And then when he came on to Joico, I wondered how he'd feel about it. But now you've only got to hear him speak about it to know that he is like falling in love with the product completely. Yeah. And, you know, with all that experience, with all that knowledge that he has, all of the times he's used, you know, different brands, he's like, it's kind of like a rebirth for him. And just to watch him and listen to him talk about it, I don't think it's anything more inspiring. And I think that as a team, Sevda, do you not find we're all kind of that way? The whole team feels that way.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I think that's what's unique about the brand. Like, we can talk together now, but this is the type of conversation we have around lunch, right?
Yeah.
You know, so we do, and it's like we have fun and stuff, and you know, and it's just I think everybody's very open and very honest about how they feel, and even if we are trialing something new, we're never afraid to say, oh well, we don't like that because, or we'll give feedback of why it's not good or whatever, and it's really appreciated by the whole team. You know, at Helmond, in America, they appreciate real, honest feedback, I think, and that's where the brand differs, you know. But you've worked now for the Joico for 4 years.
Yes.
What was the biggest job you've done so far?
The biggest job, it was, I think, was it?
Your favorite job then? Your favorite job? If it's not your biggest job, what was your favorite job?
Favorite job? That was with you, Ian. No. What was my? Yeah, I loved everything of being in Helm, but I think I loved Malta last year.
Yeah. Okay.
I was for 5 days there. It was really hot. No, it was really really big work, but the people was so warm, and I loved Malta. It's so small and a beautiful place to get there.
Yeah,
really. But my first experience, I will never forget that. Never. It was the late night work in Milan, in Italy.
Right. Okay.
Alberto was then not in the Joico European team, and he knows that better. It was like the models arrived so late. Normally we would start it at 3 o'clock with the models. No.
That's late already.
No, that's late already. No. First I started, you know, I'm not an early person, but on 7 o'clock I was in the breakfast room and I was working, and Alberto came to me and he said the models will arrive a little bit later. But I said, okay, that's good. And we was waiting and no models. And then he came, they are coming in the later in the day in. And it was really 7 o'clock in the evening.
No.
You know, you need to cast everybody first. Then we worked till the morning, 6 o'clock.
No.
And the next day we had the show. And then I just wake up. I just sleep for 2 hours, I think. And then we had the show in Milan. But it was a really beautiful show. It was good work. It was really good work, and it was beautiful. And now when I see Alberto, I always think about that night. I will never forget that.
Yeah, Alberto's a really good guy as well, isn't he?
He is a really hard worker.
Yeah.
Really hard worker. He's a very good person.
Yeah, he's been doing.
I love him. Really, I love him.
Online during lockdown, how much like videos he was putting out there and trying to gain as much traction as possible for the Italian market and the European market. But yeah, I mean, I met him once when we did the product testing, when we were testing out all the new products. And yeah, he just seems like super positive, and he loves the brand so much.
Paul, he's really a good leader, because he had his own team.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to go to, because I said to some of his team, I said, not everybody needs to wait here. You can go and sleep, because we were in the hotel. Nobody was gone. Everybody said, if you are here, I'm staying here.
Yeah.
Whole the team stayed together till it was done.
Not like David Murray then, who goes off for a sleep whenever he can.
Yeah, Alberto's team is really good. Really, he is a very good person. Very loyal. He's very loyal. Yeah,
I think it's somebody that we need to get on this to speak to him, because I've spent a lot of time with Alberto when he first became he took over from somebody else as the head of the team, the director of the team, and it wasn't an easy transition because there was so much old stuff. You know, people were attached to the old ways, and he wanted to change things. So I went to Italy for 2 weeks, and I stayed there for 2 whole weeks working with Alberto and the team, and watched it, and I kept on coming home, you know, to whenever we have a European team meeting. I was saying to Danielle or Wendy, you've got to get this guy on board. You've got to get this guy on board, you know. And yeah, they are loyal. That's just very true. And he's and you know, eventually they got it. Only last year they got him on board as one of the European design team members. And I remember I was at a meeting in Helmond on my own, and I went for a restaurant at night, and they said, we're going to be joined by just a couple of friends. So I sat there and I looked out the window and I could see Alberto walking up the road. I was so pleased to see him. And that's when they said that he was going to be a member of the team. And I was just like, but it was all quiet then. It was before everything changed in Italy. And I was just so happy just to see him. He deserves everything. He's such a cool guy. Yeah. You know, he really does. So that's really good. Bruno, Italians are so loyal, it is. And the team is amazing, and it really is. And it's been seamless since Bruno has come on board, and he's been a massive asset to us, hasn't he? Has she muted herself, Paul? Have you muted it?
No, she's muted herself.
Sevda, you've muted yourself.
Can you unmute?
No. It's better than me freezing.
Yeah.
Still can't hear you. What have you done?
So if you've got any questions for Sevda, get them in, because there's a lot of people on here that have been asking about the post-lockdown salon experience. So if we get a voice back, that is. But you can pop them in the comments and then we can answer them afterwards. While she is muted, is she going? We'll just... You're going?
No, I'm not going.
Oh, you're not going?
She says she's not. Are you going, Sevda? Sevda. Mean as we can't hear you. Can you hear? Hang on. Let's type in.
I'll say, so on Friday we had, oh yeah, here's the private chat. No. So on Friday we're supposed to have Richard Manor. Unfortunately, it didn't happen because of everything that's going on in America at the minute, and the Black Lives Matter, the protests. So we have postponed it until a later date, and Richard's still looking forward to coming on. Super excited. He was super excited to come on here anyway to speak to us. So we're going to be bringing that to you. Are you back, Sevda?
Bruno, I'm lip reading. Sevda, try again. Can you try again, Sevda? No. Can't hear you. So Sevda, we will have to bring you on again to finish this conversation.
Yeah.
But it's been fantastic to speak to you. And Bruno's lip reading anyway, so he can translate. So listen, Sevda, we're going to catch up with you in the near future to get you back to finish the conversation, because it's always been so good. So big love from us, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon. Bye.
So Paul,
are you finding it challenging booking people in terms of time allocated because of the bigger jobs and restyles, new looks clients are requesting? To be honest, we were talking about this before. We're not booking anybody in yet. I'm not booking anybody in until I have a date which is cemented. The restrictions that I know is 1 meter, 1.5 or 2 meters, and hours or the amount of clients we can have in the salon, Laura. So
protective equipment, how many clients? We don't know yet. And that's why I think 4th of July is looking optimistic, because I just don't see us making it, because nothing has come out yet and time is moving on. Yeah.
But as for just keeping contact with clients, I'm sending out newsletters every Tuesday. This Tuesday will be for them to register their appointment request, I suppose, and services and what stylist they want to go with. And then when we get a bit of guidance, we're going to battle it that way or combat it that way, because no one knows, to be honest. No one knows when we're going to open. And like Ian just said, with the 4th, there's different things now on if you look on Facebook groups and all that. I try not to get too caught up in it, but people are sort of saying now it's the 12th or now it's even later. And it's like, look, no one knows. Everyone's just assuming and looking at different things. So just like, yeah, just relax. Like Sevda said, relax. It all seems to be going incredibly well in salon in and around Europe.
Yeah.
Sure, it'll be the same for us, but we just have to, you just got to prepare. So you've got to get PPE that we sort of know we're going to need. Make sure that you're keeping in contact with clients and just keep a positive vibe.
Yeah, I think so. So I think you touched on Richard Manor was due to come on Friday.
Yep.
And leading up to the week, we always speak to whoever comes on prior. And then he just we discussed it all together and said that it probably wasn't a good idea because he wanted to support all of his relatives, friends, and people that he was loyal to with the Black Lives Matters protests in America, and he wanted to black out his social media, which he did.
Yeah. And I think because the protests are going on in America and New York heavily, he didn't really want to come on here and be super positive and sort of seem as if he's dismissed the whole thing that's going on. I think it's really affecting everybody, and he didn't want to come on and be super positive. We did do a video. We did, didn't we, Ian? We pre-recorded something that we put out for about half an hour, and then we took it down. Ian rang me, and we didn't say anything. We'll talk about some of the things now, because I'd like live feedback. One of the things that I was talking about was, so when you go into hairdressing, you go into ladies hairdressing, and you do a side add-on. So men's, perming, and now extensions, I think. Why can't an addition to that be afro hairdressing? I was just putting that out there. I'd love to know why. Because when I was at college, I bought the Afro Salon book, and I've still got it to this day. It refers to texture, like just everything about it that's different to Caucasian hairdressing. So that was one question. You had a question about the industry? Yeah,
I was just saying about when you have like Afro Hairdressing Awards, and then you have the BHAs with its own Afro Hairdresser of the Year. Should we differentiate? Should it all be one award? Should it be just, I know it's a different skill set. I know so are we celebrating the fact it's a different skill set and almost putting it in its own category? Or should we embrace it as part of the open category and that everybody is equal? and not to. So I don't know how people would think. Well, actually, I did I messaged Rick Roberts, who was a friend of mine, and he's happy to come on and chat about that at length whenever we want to. That would be really cool. But they were the questions, and I think that we both. Well, I felt really uncomfortable talking about it because it's something I hadn't given a lot of thought to, and there was a lot of guilt. I think I felt, and I didn't think I was qualified to then give an opinion, which I've kind of thought about, and I've listened to many people give an opinion on it since. And I could never know the prejudices of any minority group will ever sort of experience, because I'm not in any of those groups. But you try to have empathy with them, you try to understand, and it's wrong. There's right and there's wrong, and that's wrong when people are treated that way and treated badly. And I think I don't know how it's solved. I don't know whatever it is, and how would
They were just questions that got us talking with the whole thing that's going on at the minute. So with Richard sort of saying, "Oh no, I'm not going to come on this week. There's all this going on," and then we just started talking and sort of asking each other questions, just generalised. And then we got two sort of key aspects for our industry as to, all right, why is that like that? And why don't we learn Afro hairdressing? Because it's something I'd love to learn. Why have I never? I mean, I have tried. I tried to get educators into the salon. I've bought books and all that sort of thing, and I do cut Afro hair because I've sort of self-taught myself. But it's just something that we wondered. And again, with the British Hairdressing Awards, should it be combined to be British hairdressing, or should it be the separate parts? Like avant-garde is different, and the colour is different, and the artistic team is different. Afro hair, is it a different category? That's all we wanted to know. So, yeah,
they were interested, and they did. And I think I just found it very difficult that I felt very, very underqualified to make a comment on it. That's what my thing was, because I think we talked about it quite some length, probably about half an hour, 40 minutes. And at the end of it, I just felt, I don't know if I'm qualified to make these comments, because you don't want to offend people by being ignorant. And I felt I was ignorant to what was going on. Or I understood what's going on, obviously, but I don't fully. I've never experienced it, so I was. It would almost be, am I being patronizing? Am I being, is that what I'm doing? And I didn't want that to come over, that we were being disingenuous and being, fake. I wanted to,
I don't think it did at all. Like when you called me and you said, "Oh, I don't think that video should go up," so I took it down, and it's still down. And I don't think anyone will probably see it now. But I didn't feel that.
Watson Davis, the lost tapes.
But like the reason it got brought up as well, because I spoke with a guy called Connor. He's friends with Katrina Kelly, and he kept on putting up stories all day. I think it was about, he felt a little bit disappointed that he hadn't really invested in himself to learn Afro hairdressing, and why. And then I messaged him. I said, "Oh mate, I've got this incredible book off Amazon," and he bought it. And that's what sort of ignited the conversation as well with myself and Ian. So no, I don't think we're not qualified, mate, to talk about it, because I think as in the industry, I think we were just we're looking at
asking questions.
Yeah, and we want the industry to keep getting better and better, and hairdressing getting better and better. So that was it, really. There was two questions. If everybody knows, pop them in the comments. We'd love to know.
Yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what everybody else thinks. And like when I spoke to Rick, and I told Rick what the thing was, Rick was, I'd love to speak about it, and he was happy to. So that'd be interesting to see what Rick's take on it, because he's quite a knowledgeable guy across both of the genres, like from Afro to Caucasian. He does it all, and he's very successful at both, and he's a cool guy. So that might be an interesting thing anyway. So,
if anyone who will know, share this with them, and maybe they can help us.
Come on, Nick,
and we can get them on, and we'd love to just be a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a force to maybe bring it into the curriculum, because I think it's something we definitely need. Yeah,
I definitely do think it's we need to learn that stuff, and like I think you made the point saying that you don't want to be the salon that says, "Oh, sorry, we don't do Afro hair," or because that's wrong on every level. But like I said, I've worked with Afro hair for photo shoots, for shows and stuff like that, and I'm okay with it. But it's not something I do on a daily basis. I always signpost somebody to bet who I know are better than me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to disappoint anybody, but not because for any other reason. I just want to disappoint anybody. And then they say, "Oh, that guy's shit." That guy's shit.
Yeah.
What I actually want to do is actually give them the best advice. And I try to be honest, and I think that maybe is a shortcoming. Maybe I should just learn more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is the thing. It's we haven't specialised in it. And when you look at everyone's sort of Instagrams, they specialise in colour, cutting, balayage, extensions, and you've got Afro specialists. And I think that with the Caucasian hair salons, we've just been never taught it. And it's never been anything but that's really been asked for. But now more than ever, we seem to get more and more coming into the salon. And I don't know with you, Ian, but we do. We get more and more people with Afro hair coming in and saying, do you cut my hair or do you relax? And I think that's one of the things I touched on when we had a little
chemicals. It's the chemical services.
Yeah, we don't stock them. So that's just one of the things with us. We don't stock the relaxing services. I actually had someone in lockdown message me if I know anyone that does it. But I know we've been an hour, so I won't ramble on. If you know anybody who can help us, share this, get them to contact us, because it'd be great to get them on or get some questions answered. So
excellent. So thank you to Sevda. She was.
We'll bring her back.
Is she still there?
Yeah.
Yes, she still can't hear. We still can't hear you, Sevda. So we still can't hear you. But no, I don't know what you've done. You must have clicked something on your phone. So okay. Anyway, all wave like this. We can wave and say goodbye to everybody. And thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Sevda.
Take care.